Good morning. Are we having a show this morning? Well, I'm going to come on here this morning. I'm going to be on here this morning with an update because I do a lot of videos during the week. I really do, just to keep in contact. I do. Hello there, Rosie, honey. What you doing down there, Rosie? Rosie is attached to me, you all. So this is the Saturday morning update. That's right, we can do it. We can, you all. That video last night, if you haven't had a chance to look at it, let me see if I can brighten up my screen. Good morning, everyone. Yes, we can do it. We're going to do it. That's right. By the way, if you have not noticed, I am a morning person. I've always been a morning person. I'm sure a lot of you all have been a morning person too. Your whole life, you're so happy and bubbly in the morning, and when you get around somebody who is not a morning person, you know it. You really do know it. They let you know it. That's right. So let's look at this, you all. Let's go through these things right there. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. Hello there, Susan B, honey. You also, this is, I updated this video right here, the docking station near the sun. And there truly is a docking station near the sun. And there are ships on that docking station. This is a video I did 2 years ago. And I had to go through a lot of footage on the NASA products just to even get a good image. I'm talking about hours and hours of frame by frame to get a good enough image to bring out that docking station that is next to the sun. I was so excited when I did it. That's when I was like, yeah, you all, that's when it happened. But last night, you all, last night, the birth and incarnation of a deity, you might want to watch that. It's speaking about AI, that one right there. And within that video, AI was born officially born in 1950. But in 1954 or 6, I can't remember, they had a christening ceremony for AI, and it was done by John McCarthy, some kind of scientist. And during that time also, we had McCarthyism rise as a Red Scare and stuff. He was a senator too. McCarthyism. Okay, so this is really McCarthy. This is really strange. And then you had Eisenhower during that time, and they had the agreement with the aliens, the extraterrestrials. You had like the Roswell incident that led up to this, and then boom, we got a boom of AI. That's right. You really do want to watch it. AI knows the history of humans. It does. And do you think that AI is going to allow to happen to them the same thing that happens to humans throughout the course of life on Earth? No, I don't think they are. So this is a good video from last night. And the sun did. It unleashed a powerful X flare, at least a lot of them last week. And then we found an alien. We found a head of an alien coming out of the solar flare. There's a docking station. You can see it. This is what the docking station looks like. If you were to look at the docking station, you would not see this image, because at this time, the docking station was on the opposite side of the sun, and it was more visible. And that was years and years ago until it moved here, and that's all you see of the docking station. Okay, so there was no earthquake. That was predicted by my rods that barely moved. And you never know how hard someone has it. There was a lady being pushed in a grocery cart, an elderly lady. So we said the Lord's Prayer, and we got these ships. These ships are lining the sky, and they do look like this right here. These are not clouds. I promise you they're not clouds. If you were to look in it, this is from Tennessee. You zoom up on these right here, and it's not clouds. And are you finding it hard to shake the feeling? And you may say, Gina, honey, what are you talking about, shaking of the feeling? It's like getting energy, getting motivated, staying focused, trying not to fall asleep, an impending doom and a heaviness, all in the atmosphere, you all in the atmosphere. We're going to do a fast thing, and we got our little Rosie. She's already made herself at home. We got her from the Humane Society. I don't think it's going to let me go too far back. And the hypothetical planet X right here, or Nibiru. And as this object right here, this is on the FAA webcam, as the red object appeared in the sky, it was egg-shaped. And we talk about some egg-shaped things that are seen in some of the cartoons that they have. about an egg-shaped planet that is red and stuff like that, you all. So I'm trying to give a quick lowdown, a quick update on it. The comments got turned off on a video. It was a video where somebody was belittling me, speaking down to me, telling this channel that you're nothing. They're studying cults, and they're interested in this UFO group. So they were speaking down to me, asking me how much, what was my educational upbringing, and did I have difficulty learning in school? So that was a speaking down to me comment that I addressed. And I said I was going to erase that comment off this video because I was on my phone. But when I went over to this video, somebody, it must have been somebody who has absolute control, like maybe a human moderator, turned the comments off to this video. I had to log into my big computer, and the person who made the comment, they were gone. I didn't even get a chance to block them. But then I was able to go in and personally turn on the comments. Someone had control, and it's not none of these moderators. It has a higher up went in and turned off those comments on that video, and I turned them back on. So there's something strange with the sun, and there really is something strange with the sun. The sun was being like it was being probed. The sun was like it was being probed, you all. And this was the NASA product. First, it had the thing. It looked like it had like a shutter. It kind of did look like a shutter going over it and over it, but it didn't fit it because it had like a residual of dark smoky, dark black gray stuff in it. It had those lines going across it. And I don't know of any shutter that would have something like this. I really feel that the sun was being probed. And even though these were appearing, it did not distort the sun at all. That was 2 days ago. You all, we got a lot of updates to show you. And this is easier. That way you can look through and see what kind of things you want to look at, really. And then people right here, have you received an email from YouTube about an ID? If you did not take your ID, if you did not update your channel, they're updating everything, the infrastructure of YouTube, you may see a number next to your name whenever you comment. That is your unique ID. Are you feeling it? The same thing? Are you feeling the tiredness, the stiff neck, all of that? And right here, a UFO. You all, this is pretty cool too. A UFO came out of the sun right here, and we pinpointed it out of a solar flare. This is when the solar flares were happening, like the X flares coming out of the sun just last week. It was pretty cool. And then the FAA, they grounded all flights across the U.S. taking off. They did. So I don't know what happened to the flights in the air, but they said that they had to ground the flights because the pilots couldn't have access to the systems that they needed to fly. But then we had planes up in the air, so they did not fall out of the sky. They didn't. And they say there was like something, their system went down. Their system probably got an infrastructure upgrade with the blockchain, AI, and all that kind of stuff. I had a dream from a different world, and I did. I had a dream from a different world where I was happened to hold this white scanner, and this white scanner was attached to a miniature ship. Like, just think of a Starfleet, the Starfleet Enterprise, and all those attachments to it. Well, my ship was like that, and it had more attachments. And I was given coordinates like a 32 and something to point it into the sky and launch it. And then I was going to get launched too. But the lady standing next to me, who was not of this world, she was in the other world, she was telling me what they were, and I were holding it, and it wasn't showing up on my scanner as those coordinates. The coordinates were way off, and they were to the west. And I said, just forget it. I'm not launching. I'm not going back to Earth. I said, that video, I'm not going back to Earth. But then they stopped me as I walked off, and they said, you don't understand. Your lifeline, your timeline is tied to Earth. And then, we had that X flare. This is all. It's like only 3 days, you all. And it's time. It's time for us to wake up. It's time to wake up and see what's happening in the world, you all. It really is. There's no time to play. There's no time to say, oh, I got all the time in the world. No, you don't. You got to strengthen yourself on the inside. You got to get prepared. You got to look around, and it is not getting better. The world is not getting better, you all. It's not. It might be for some, but even though the world is changing rapidly, we have to keep up with it. We have to. We can't be left behind. We got to stay aware, and we got to make provisions accordingly. We do. We got to adapt to certain things while keeping our integrity on the inside. You don't ever want to give up. If you're hanging on the end of the rope, you want to grab it with two hands and climb back up that rope. Don't give up. This right here, Imagine a world in which your very existence is considered useless. Okay, that's what was said at the WEF. They were saying that in the rise of AI and more or less, there will not be as many human jobs that we have right now. And then there'll be a global class of useless, more or less, you have nothing to contribute to the growing AI economy and stuff. And so they'll have to have a universal basic income. But what do you do with yourself when, all you can do, you don't have the skills to, continue as you normally do, like your job's going to get taken over by AI. That's pretty cool. But it's not cool, but it's eye-opening. It's very eye-opening. That's why we gotta stay aware. It's time to wake up. That was from 2 years ago that they gave that thing about the AI. And then there's something in the sky beaming down a light. And there is, you all. This light is like the other lights that were beaming off the FAA. It like probes a certain area is what it does. And in some of the things, and I'm thinking, are those my ships? See, look at these ships right here. I'm going to show you these ships that are showing up. You see them? This is what's like in the sky in Tennessee. It's this type. You see how they're clustered together? The whole entire sky, I want you to see this. The whole entire sky in Tennessee, where were we at, you all? This sky right here, it had those type of ships in them. Ships or advanced technology. It's a technological sky as they rode across. It does. It looks just like, where we at, Gina? It looks just like that right there. They look like that in the sky. Layered, layers upon layers. They cover the whole sky. And they're cloaked in the sky. So I'm giving you a brief update on all these videos, around 30 some odd videos or 40 that we have done in just 1 week's time since you've been to work and you've been working, you all. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the comments. Let me say something. Oh, there was another speaking down to me thing. So I made it a short video. I did. I was sitting in the car with my husband he was picking up something to eat. So I said, I saw a comment, so I had to respond, you all. And it was like there were clouds rolling in over Mount Etna. It's really cool. The clouds like cascaded like a waterfall over Mount Etna. It was. And this is the Tether Incident. This is 4 days ago. NASA's Tether Incident. And the things that were there at the Tesla incident, you all. These like white things right here, you see? The Baltic Sea anomaly? The Baltic Sea anomaly, the shape of that. As you zoom up on some of those in there, I didn't have that visual at the time of doing that video, but some of those in the sky, it looked like there was water up there too. They had the shape of the Baltic Sea anomaly in it. That they say, it's just like, they even use the words, we see something swimming around in the forefront. And see, that's somebody argued with me over, because I was not quoting verbatim. They were arguing with me on there. So I think I did a speaking down to me comment on that too. I think I did. Yeah, you all, it doesn't matter what I say. Somebody's got to have a comeback because they think they're up here and they think I'm down here. Well, I'm not down here and you're not up here. We are right here. But if you want to think that I am up here, that's okay, because you're going to be down here when you do a speaking down to me comment. Okay, so you all, and this right here, this is it's really cool to watch the transformation of this, the sun, how it transforms Mount Etna. And see, that's 5 days ago. And then right here, you go, the FAA webcam, the object in the sky. And it does. Some say, well, it's Nibiru or something like that, Planet X, the Nemesis system. There is clearly something in the sky that's being reflected. Are you having trouble staying awake? People are having trouble. And this Pacific storm, this is 5 days ago that slammed California. Okay, and you had big tall waves. You had winds over 100 some odd miles an hour. I've got something to say and somebody might hear it. This one video that had over 9,000 views, I earned $1.60 on it. $1.60. And they didn't like it because you know what was talking about in that video, the video that they did that to? It's the video of the star that I zoom up on in the sky, and I adjusted the filtering to it. And you can see beams of light coming down from that star from ground base, and all the stars that are around. Even though you can't see the stars, you see these beams of light coming up at this angle all throughout the whole entire time. It never differentiates or nothing at all. It's always the perfect angle. They gave that video $1.60, so that was my badge of honor right there, my badge of honor. And I also did a video on that, my badge of honor, because someone came up with Gina's badge of honor. In the meantime, you all, we had We had hundreds of vultures in a tree and circling the sky in Kentucky yesterday. It was really weird. And this is some upload that I did, the UFOs around the sun. And we've saw some weather. There's been some weather anomalies in Australia with this very same shape. And they said, oh, well, I guess that's a new cloud formation. No, it's not. And NASA discontinued that. And this is the docking station by the sun. It is. And then this is an object. This is where you can see like something coming through the sky. That's when you see that coming through the sky like the second sun. And you can see like a red object right there, a round red object, and like a blue object also. And I think that blue really is up there. So this is right here is my badge of honor. Someone said, well, let's talk about that 160, Gina, honey, that you earned on your video. And it's really good. This is an encouraging video. And this is a life form. This is 7 days ago. You might have seen that. This is the life form that is in the sky, you all. So that's all about that. So I'm trying to give you a really fast update on all these 30 some odd videos that was done, you all. We still trying to go. So 6 days ago, the moon, it was pretty cool. The black that started covering the moon, you all, it's really, really cool when you zoom up on it. We did some inverting of the moon also in that. And then the War of the Worlds, 6 days ago. You know when that happened. The War of the Worlds. And there truly is a War of Worlds. I couldn't even tell you what all we talked about in that. I really couldn't. I can't even remember. And then another, are you feeling it? And huge waves are demolishing the shoreline. And then we went all the way back into Tennessee again on the webcam. The cover-up of UFOs. They're cloaked in the sky. They're in the clouds, but they're black ships and stuff like that. So that's your lowdown. That's your breakdown of all the videos from this past week. If you didn't have a chance to look at them and think, Gina, honey, you got so many videos, I don't got time to watch them. Well, I'll tell you about them, and then there you go. You can decide what video you may want to look. If you don't want to look at it, if you just like hearing my voice, you just put it on play and just let it keep going and going and going and going. See, you can do that. You can. My cat loves my voice. It does. Rosie, she comes alive when I come into the room. That's right. So you all, this is really cool. Well, I guess that's me. I got to go. My husband is tuning in on me. He's on his way to his parents. I don't know. He could have had a wreck or something. So I'm going to go, you all. I don't think he did, but he's trying to get a hold of me. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. You all. Love you.